BanjoBenClark.com. I am Banjo Ben, your host here on the website that teaches you how to play guitar, mandolin, and of course, banjo. You know, I ran a poll on my Banjo Ben Facebook page here recently, and I said, hey, banjo pickers, how confident are you to go up the neck and know what you're doing? To know where to get your positions, to know how to play these licks. Now, it was literally 10-1. For every one of you that said that, I'm confident, I can do it pretty well, there were 10 people who said, I need help. And that's what we're going to do here. I'm launching a brand new, groundbreaking, foundational lesson series called Waypoints. And what Waypoints is going to teach you to do in a very systematic way is learn your banjo neck. Learn where to go, where to put your fingers, and how to use that in your playing, both in backup and in lead. I want you to pay attention to everything I teach you here, because I am systematically laying down layers in your brain, showing you and teaching you how to play, and it will all come together in the end. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube here in a moment, I'll ask you to come over to my website, BanjoBenClark.com. You can join as a Gold Pick member. Come over, check it out. I have hundreds of great foundational lessons just like this, as well as teaching tons of fiddle tunes and all kinds of things that help you be a better picker. Let's jump right into this one. Are you sometimes amazed at those banjo players that can just jump all over the banjo neck? And they seem to know exactly where they need to go, and once they get there, they can do all kinds of cool stuff. Well, you know, it's not magic, and they weren't born that way. They had to learn it. And I've come up with a systematic way to teach you those things. We're calling this lesson series Waypoints, and we're going to tackle one chord at a time. And the first one that we're going to tackle here is the G major chord. When I talk about waypoints, what I mean are certain places on our banjo neck that pertain to the chord of G that we need to be able to get to them. We need to be able to understand how to use them and move back and forth between them. And so we're going to learn that today. Now, what are these waypoints made out of? Well, I mentioned that they're made out of pieces of chords. And whenever we talk about a G major chord, we're talking about three notes in particular. We're talking about the root of the G major scale, which is, you guessed it, the G note. And then we're also talking about the third and the fifth tones of the G major scale. So G, A, B, C, D. So G, B, and D. Now, it's real handy to be able to find those notes on our banjo if we're tuned to an open G tuning, because what that means is our banjo is tuned to a G major chord. So each one of these open strings, when you're tuned to a G major tuning, is going to play one of those major chord notes. There's three of them. It's called a triad, G, B, and D. And so we can identify those notes just by playing those. Let's go ahead and throw up the first line of tab, and you'll see where they're found. If we start here on the lowest tone string, of course, we have that D note. Going up, we have a G note. There's our root. There's our B note on the second string, another D note, and then we have another root up here on the top. Now those are, that's 5 strings, but it's only 3 different notes, G, B, and D. And it's important that we know how to find all of those notes at G, B, and D whenever we go up the neck, because as we find where they happen up the neck, those are going to be where our G chords happen, and also where these waypoints live that we can use to learn how to play, especially as we're playing backup and learn how to play these licks. So let's do this. Let's move to the first string only, and let's learn to find our waypoints, our G major triad notes on the first string. Now, very rarely do I just ask you here at BanjoBenClark.com to just memorize something. Usually I give you something fun to learn, to help incorporate the knowledge to where you're kind of learning it without even knowing that you're learning it. But I'm going to ask you here to memorize simply 5 places. That's not bad, huh? That's not too bad. So we're going to start here on the first string. And of course, whenever it was open, it was a D note. That's one of our waypoints. Now our next waypoint that we can find as we go up this first string is right here on the 5th fret. That's going to be a G note, okay? So you need to just know that to play one of your G chord notes, you need to go to the 5th fret here. Not hard. Now as we go on up, the next one we're going to find is on the 9th fret. That's going to be a B note. Okay, that's an octave higher than our second string. So just memorize that, 5, 9. Now if we keep going up, it gets easy because now we're going up to the 12th fret. This is 1 octave higher than the open D string. So there's a D note up there. That's pretty simple because open we have a D, and on 12th fret we have another D that's one octave above. So can you do all of those by memory already? You can pause the video and see if you can grab those. And then that pattern's just going to continue. Earlier we went from open to 5. Now we're going to go from 12 to 17. There's another G note. And then all the way up to 21. That's our last one that we can grab. That's a B note. Okay, so we have D, G, B. And then we start over with another octave. D, G, B. Now those are very, very important. Those are our waypoints on our first string. And once we learn that, I just ask you to submit that to your memory, because once you learn that, we've got the battle won here. And so what I'm going to challenge you to do is just pause this video right now and spend a little bit of time on your first string of being able to go back and forth between these different waypoints. You don't even really right now have to remember what note they are. You will need to know that, but to just be able to do this. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so in this next little segment, we're going to learn how to find the same notes on our second string.